Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speeder. Today, we're going to be doing a replay analysis of a game I just played. This is a carry game I played. Now, keep in mind I'm not a carry player. My main role is +5, but I can play all of the roles at, I would say probably, I don't know, what is my MMR? Probably 1k MMR lower than my rank. So probably like at a 14k level I can play carry. Now, the reason I can confidently say that is a lot of Dota at the highest level, I would argue, being good, is just kind of understanding what heroes do, knowing how to move around the map, how to connect to teammates. It's general team play, right? The ability to just kind of understand the game as a whole. And so let's get into it. Let's kind of talk about everything. And this is going to be a very advanced video for all of you carry players looking to get better. So let's get into it.
On top of that, go sign up to the gameleap website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there.
I'm playing Gyrocopter. This is my favorite carry to play generally. I would say Nature's Prophet is up there as well. In the laning stage with Gyrocopter, the main thing you want to do is use Flat Cannon for CS. Also for a little bit of harass. I would say probably the main thing that I would want to do at the highest level is try to communicate to my Treant for him to secure range creeps, because the biggest weakness of clicking flak is it makes the range creep get denied. Now, thankfully, oh, okay, it actually did get denied there. Yeah, so I probably needed to communicate that better, and I did end up missing a few CS, but all in all, nothing crazy early on. Okay, that was probably the worst point of the game, that and some mid-death, but let's keep going. All right, so I'm going to pick up some tangos. Wand 3 branches starting items. I'm against a Mars Wind Ranger. It's kind of a no-brainer. These heroes cast a lot of spells. I need to be sustainable. We click flak here. Basically, my main objective, again, probably should tell this guy hit the range creep on Treant. It just kind of makes sense, and I will do the trading with Flat Cannon. But this is fine. In general, with Gyro, you kind of want to isolate the range creep, click Flat Cannon to kill their range creep, hopefully with a support that can secure it or hit it, and then get a range deny because the enemy is scared of you and scared of Flat Cannon. And if they go for the range creep, I will auto-attack them. Right, I will hit them. But that doesn't happen because, you know, the enemy kind of knows, the Mars kind of knows that I'm going to click him if he tries to contest it. Now here, again, it kind of sucks a bit that my Mars isn't in the area. I don't instantly click flak here, and this missile's cringe. Why did I click missile here? I think I was initially going to, so I don't mind skilling missile in this lane because frankly, I'm never going to be able to use rocket barrage. Like, the Treant does not have enough disables where that's reliably going to happen at the highest level. Maybe, you know, maybe someone, to be real, if you're 3k, 4k, 5k, is going to step out of position, and at level 3, you're going to want to have 2 points rocket barrage. That can definitely happen, but my mentality here was I need to use rocket to try to stun him while I flat cannon the range creep. So I messed up here. I shouldn't have done this. I need to click them at the same time, because I definitely could get my range denied. Thankfully, my Treant kind of steps up at a nice time here, so I'm able to secure the creeps anyway. But yeah, we get a perfect CS. We get a nice deny here. Feeling good about that wave, definitely pretty solid. Get a nice deny here. I can contest this one as well because the Wind Ranger, she can't really hit me as long as I'm on the right side of the lane. It's very important that my positioning is here and not here, because if I'm here, Wind Ranger can hit me for free like crazy, but because I'm consistently on the right side, I'm adjusting to the fact that my Treant is not trading, I can avoid a lot of damage. And you can see I'm even pulling aggro to the right, again, to try to make it a little bit harder for the Wind Ranger to click. She is going to click me. My Treant's not zoning her, but I'm doing my best possible job to make sure that if she is going to hit me, she's going to tank some aggro. Now, my Treant overextended here, whatever. I'm not going to stress about that. It is what it is. No big deal. I think here I drop my 3 branches, pop my wand. I'm on ping, which honestly does make it a little bit hard to do this type of thing. Like, precise clicks on 100 ping, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie, but whatever. So one big thing I like to do as well is I like to deny a lot with flak, because it kind of balances out the equilibrium a little bit, right? It's good to push a wave on Gyro in general, but sometimes you push it a little bit too hard. And so by using the flak on denies, it still shoots out all the flaks, right? Shoots out all the attacks, but also kind of keeps the lane in a pretty good position. So again, mostly just clicking flak off cooldown, just kind of want to keep the Mars low, keep the Wind Ranger low. She doesn't want to click Wind Run casually to dodge flak. I mean, she could, honestly, it's probably not terrible, but just want to keep them low, nothing special. Just very basic Gyro gameplay, winning CS over time. Again, at the highest level, people know not to try to fight into a Gyro because of your hero's incredible stats and rocket barrage, especially when I have Afterburner. You know, I have all that movement speed if they fight me. So people would generally avoid me. Now, for items, the first thing I ship is Band of Elven Skin. This hero wants damage because of the fact that you're clicking flak. A lot of people will buy Blades of Attack because they're going to buy Falcon Blade. I don't mind that, as we get a nice flag bearer deny there. And now, you know, you can see we're just kind of slowly creating a lead. You know, they got first blood, so the support gap is there, but whatever, you know, that was generally out of my hands. So not too worried. I also bought a second set of tangos, which in general on Gyro, you're going to use tangos. This hero tends to want to fight a lot, and you don't have any sustainability, and so it's very normal to want to have 6 tangos throughout the course of the lane. Even if I don't end up using the tangos, I'll probably literally use them jungling at some point, so I don't feel bad buying them. Yes, they could delay an item, but to me, it's not worth taking the risk if like something happens, you take a lot of damage, and you're just out of regen. It can frankly ruin the lane. I missed the flag bearer CS there. But yeah, for my next item, I complete treads. Then I'm going to ship out raindrops 1, and notice that I'm shipping my items very, very quickly. I'm constantly shipping small components. I did wait to complete full treads, only because it's just kind of like sometimes how the CS progresses, like you feel like you can wait because you're not going to fight. As I go for a large camp hole here, I push in the wave, and I felt that I can connect the wave and kind of like bait this guy to pull aggro on the wave so I can flak him. So I get some good flak damage, and I really wanted to just start pushing the wave so I could farm this camp. Now that I have 3 points in Barrage, I can farm these creeps very effectively. You know, treads and Barrage, so I get a nice 100 gold there. It's very efficient, super nice to get that. And again, I'm pushing in the wave. I have no threat on Mars. I'm not gonna like, yes, I can maybe static the wave, honestly, but I feel that I'm at the point, you know, with treads that I can farm these camps, and so I'm able to do that. It does cost me a bit of health, but again, that is why having the tangos is really nice for these situations. He does deny some creeps on me here, so you could argue that maybe jungling both of those camps is a little bad because I lose lane creeps for it, and lane creeps tend to be more effective. But I would say jungling those neutrals got me a spark of courage, right? Which is so insane. 7 damage from the tough, and then 10 from the item. I'm hitting for bonus 17 on Gyro, you know, a hero with insane attack speed and flat cannon. So kind of just hyper valuable. So I would do that play again because of the neutral item. So I'm thinking about TPing top here. I have the mana to do it. I have call down. I'm Gyro. You know, my hero fights well, but it's just a little bit too far away from the tower. And Lone Druid's pretty strong at this point in the game, so I definitely thought about it. It's certainly an option, but giving up an entire side of the map is very risky. It's very risky. You've got to make sure the play you're making is going to connect, because if you give up an entire wave and your play misses, it is bad. You know, it is bad. So I'm not taking the risk here. I just don't feel like it's worth it. Instead, kind of just pushing in the wave. Again, pushing in the wave. I get a nice little efficiency play here. Pushing the wave, stacking this fish is way better than stacking Ancients. You know, I'm not going to take Ancients on Gyro. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it will happen if I have nothing else to farm. Like, if my lane is hard or I'm afraid of dying, which honestly right here, maybe I should have been. I did see the Rubik mid and I saw the Wind Ranger, so I didn't feel that afraid. I do see Wind Ranger leave from mid to come towards me here. And so is this where I decide to leave completely? Yeah. So I decided to leave completely. Again, I get a nice little efficiency play, able to stack up the medium camp. And I kind of assumed that they were coming to me. There you go. Let's go, boss. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's a map read. That's a 15k map read right there. And so I dodged her play. Unfortunately, my Bat Rider is not 15k, so he gets hit by the exact move that I was dodging. But then we make a nice little 15k feed here, as unfortunately my cooldown was shit. I probably could have placed it earlier. I mean, you know, to be fair, it's a little bit hard to hit cooldown like this. Oh, I actually placed it so slow. I'm gonna blame ping. Maybe I'm just shit though, because it kind of forced me to overextend. If I got the Wind Ranger kill, I absolutely would not have chased afterwards. So definitely pretty cringe. I missed the cooldown, overextend a little bit. So, you know, pretty terrible. I thought maybe I could disengage with Afterburner movement speed, but I was affected by Ignite. Couldn't get the job done. So not the best, not the worst. I mean, my Kunkka gets a lot of space off of this. We get a lot of damage on the top tower. It looks like it might even die. So it's not that bad of a fight, you know. Yeah, it's a pretty nice payoff. It's definitely not a terrible engagement to take because of the fact that it opens up top like that. You know, did I exactly know that was going to happen? No. But Gyro is definitely a fighting carry, so taking risks and, you know, showing up to engagements like that is good. Again, I think I wouldn't have committed. I'm certain I can say that I wouldn't have committed if I killed the Wind Ranger quickly. I would not have ran in and like chased the full HP Mars. Now, a fight happened here. I take a bit of a risk kind of going in, but I don't know. Afterburner is so strong in situations like this. You can see it's like hard chasing into the tier 2. And I kind of just know that like, as long as I keep my Afterburner up, I'm going to be strong. We get a full bear here, which is incredible. We get the ulti on the Lone Druid. I kind of, you know, sometimes you forget how to play against Lone Druid. No one plays this hero, but I guess, you know, Koifa does. So putting some pressure here, but we got 550 movement speed, so I'm kind of trying to like min-max, and then the Rubik stole Sonic Wave. I was like, holy shit. So I'm buying Chrysalis next. At this point, I decided to leave the bottom side of the map. Unfortunately, my Kunkka decided he was not going to leave the top side of the map. I kind of feel like maybe he could have like shifted towards mid and started farming mid, because him pushing out the top wave is a little sad for my game. I mean, It's not the end of the world, but it does kind of set up this situation where I will admit this is my mistake, and this is probably my biggest mistake in the mid game. But I don't know. I think him pushing out top here is probably a little cringe. You know, he's the tank, he's the frontliner. He should be in the areas that are scary. You know, he's got Admiral's Rum, Boat, Blade Mail, 1700 HP. You know, he needs to be taking the aggressive positions, not the safe farm that's in front of where your carry's walking to. So I'm not trying to flame him to be like, you know, my death is okay. My Kuka just sucks. Like, no, I know they're mid. I literally saw them. I just thought they wouldn't kill me under the tower. I'm pretty tanky. I just thought they wouldn't kill me, but that was giga wrong. It wasn't even close. I didn't even get my call down off. So that was pretty terrible. And the game's a little bit hard now. So we had to really bring this one back. This is definitely going to be a difficult match where I have to make a lot of good decisions, kind of stay calm. Don't bait my team in bad spots. Don't have any more bad deaths like the last one. But we're going to TB back triangle. I don't want to play bottom side of the map. It's too scary. Again, Gyro doesn't play dead lane well. It's probably the biggest weakness of the hero. It's not like I'm some lifestealer where I can react to a gank and get out. I'm just going to die. We take a bit of a fight here. I don't know. I don't actually remember how this fight goes. I just played this game. What do I have? Dementia? All right. I'm pretty sure it goes fine when you get a kill and get out. Drop an ult. It's a really nice cooldown. Really nice flat cannon. But I think I'm very scared of this lone druid, rightfully so. Yeah, so I disengage, which is definitely correct there. My whole team is dead. And decisions like that, guys, like even like my general awareness to be able to back off and be like, okay, the bear is low, but he can resummon it. I'm not going to kill it. You know what I mean? So, well, he can't resummon if I'm hitting it, but I'm not going to kill it. I'm probably going to die if I commit, you know, like that's very important. Not dying there is very, very important. I place my own ward on this hill just to kind of scout out the area. It does unfortunately get scouted because I accidentally flacked the win, but it kind of lets me react to this go. And this was a really nice sequence for the game. I get gone on, right? But I have this ward that I placed myself, which is pretty nice, right? I'm getting gone on, but I'm very, very tanky, and I can do a lot before I die. I get Aghanim's Lasso. Like, what the hell? Minute 18? I'm getting Aghanim's Lasso? This Rubik was insanely, it was a Rubik mid, insanely strong. But I react well here, and that's the important thing. Before you die, you gotta make sure you get all your spells off. Do not panic. Panicking is the worst thing you can do. It's very important in Dota to just accept the fact that bad situations are gonna come up. Click your shit, right? So I click my buttons here. Maybe I even click barrage a little slow, probably about like 0.5 seconds too late, but I get off a huge cooldown. I mean, it did so much here. Ooh, sets up for a huge lone druid kill. It slows. Like, if I don't get off my cooldown in a nice place there, we're probably going to lose this game because this is going to turn from a 6k lead to an 8k lead. Instead, it swings to a 3k lead because we're able to clean up all these very important kills. So I get gone on in a very nice location. This is not very out of position. I have a ward down, so my team sees everything. And that's really the key turning point of the game. That was the big swing from a 6k deficit all the way down to a 1k deficit. I mean, a huge fight. Huge, huge, huge fight. So I was super happy about that. Kind of just a nice sequence. Taking some top farm. They were taking the Tormentor, so actually probably should have been a little bit more careful there as I almost died. But okay, whatever. We walk away. We're queuing up a BKB next. No interest in buying any greedy item. I absolutely need a BKB this game. They have so much magic damage. Even Lone Druid is basically all magic damage. He's not going to really kill you through BKB. I mean, he can poke you, but he probably won't kill you. Take a fight bottom here. I think the reason was because I saw someone top. My team does a good job killing off the Lone Druid. Casual engagement. I put a missile on their Rubik. Nothing really happens here. But whatever, my presence is probably important. I think this gate is really important here. Instead of farming back to the left, I see a double wave top. Plus, I want to get back to the Ancients to kind of just generally farm that area. So I think the gate back after the TP bottom is really great. It prevents my team from kind of getting closed in and farming like poop. Because my Kuka can farm bottom, and because I didn't stay bottom, he can take the farm. I don't have to. I can kind of get back to the top side of the map, get back to my home, and we finish up our BKB at minute 23 here, which is a great timing, considering I have 0 kills. I think I'm very, very farmed, and I even have 3 pretty bad deaths, but another fight broke out here. I think I did a good job of not panicking. I guess they had a hill ward? Yeah, they have a hill ward. I didn't know. I probably could have guessed, but not panicking here. I know their chain stun is not, like, that good. Basically, like, if Mars is spearing me into them, it's good, but if he's spearing me away, I'm never going to die. So just kind of knowing, not panicking there, no reason to panic. Again, just kind of the enemy poking. Again, farming upper area, nothing crazy here. I did want to kind of look for a fight. I have my BKB, I'm ready to go. Right, but my team kind of got picked off a bunch here, right? I think someone died before, then my Quap died, and it's like, okay, I'm not really going to force an engagement or anything like that. I don't feel the need. A mid-fight broke out here, which looked promising. I actually don't know why this fight went so bad. I thought it was actually going to be very good based on how it started. Probably just quap diff. Because at this point, I hit a big timing. I'm level 18 with BKB, you know, I'm super strong. My cooldown does 40,000 damage if it hits. So I'm super, super strong, but yeah, we got an... I guess my bat... What happened to my bat? Did they jump bat? Yeah, like, we have this really good ward, and this Kunko... I mean, this Rubik was so far out of position, but... Frankly, my Bat Rider's items are straight out of the trash can. No offense to you, Psycho. I'm not a flame-teater character as a human being, but I understand why he's buying Manta, okay? It's like Dispel Ignite, Dispel Root, but you can't fight. You're just gonna die to everything else. Like, this is why so many players do this type of thing. It's like, oh, I want a right-click item because I'm like, right-click Bat Rider. But like, you can't fight without BKB. Just buy a BKB. Like, you need a BKB to do things. Just buy... We would win this fight if he had BKB, because he would click it here, lasso this guy, and I would kill him. And he would actually be able to click. But he can't, and he just dies. Am I capping? He probably doesn't die. Oh, Manta's such a good item. No, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, even though he doesn't end up dying, I mean, I guess we have, like, some big auras here. We have a nice pipe, we have a solar, so, you know, good job for my team to back him up. But the big thing is that we can't get a clean lasso, right? We can't get a clean... I mean, this is just a kill on their mid, but it gets hardcore interrupted. Again, good job for my team to kind of back him up. Get their spell. How did he go through the arena? Wind Shard pushes you through Mars Arena? What in the world? I got stuck on the opposite side of the arena. Oh, maybe I'm choking here. Is it worth clicking BKB to go through arena? This is actually a hard call. Because it's kind of awkward to click a BKB to, like offensively engage in the mid game. Typically, you want to use it, like, in the middle, like, where you're getting gone on and also doing damage. Where I'm not getting gone on here. But maybe it's worth running through and getting my stuff off. Because I would kill the Rubik here. Yeah. It's a tough call. I should have. No, he had overgrowth. Maybe I would have just gone rooted. Because it's unfortunate. He gets away and it ends up being a pretty bad fight. So maybe I should have BKB'd and just secured the kills. That could also be on me. That's a hard call, though. It's actually a very hard call. Okay, back to farming. Fight went a little bit bad. Partially on my bats items, partially on maybe my BKB usage. Plus our quap got picked off, but that's okay. We're on to the next one. Now, this is a huge decision, so I actually think this is really nice. I'm personally a huge believer in 14 Rocket Barrage damage. I think it's incredible. Now, it doesn't read that insane. It's like a 30% increase to Rocket Barrage, but you get 2 of them because you buy your shard. So I buy a Clarity because I'm going to need mana. Funny enough, I end up having to sell it in a moment. And I pinged to my team, I want my shard. This level 20 plus shard timing, it might seem like a joke because you have Daedalus, like why not take flat cannon attacks? And I get it, but I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to get off 7 attacks anyway. With Ags, it's probably worth having the 10 attacks because with Ags, you hit twice when flat cannon's active with the side gunner. So perhaps it's cringe for that reason, and I can see people hard disagreeing, but I don't know. Like, you'll see the impact on it throughout the game. I'll show you what I mean, but we take a big fight here. Looks pretty good. Unfortunately, this overgrowth, really strong from the Rubik. Really, really strong from the Rubik because I wouldn't have had to click my BKB. I don't want to click my BKB casually here. I'm not threatened. You know, it's really not a situation where I need to BKB, but unfortunately I have to click it so I can actually use my flak attacks, and here it's definitely worth it. Oh, don't tell me. Okay, yeah. So I get a lot of damage on Rubik, we force out of Yules, and we get a good fight. So I think there, I kind of make the decision to click it on the overgrowth. Probably should have done that the last fight as well, just secure a key kill. But either way, fight kept going. And this is where actually something like Rock Brush damage looks really good. It actually does a lot against the bear, you know, because it's going to be point blank. And this Rocket Brush spell, especially with the 20 talent, especially with the homing missile, doubling the effectiveness is just great. And it's also great for Roshan. Like, no joke, I'm putting this Shard homing missile, I'm using Rocket Barrage, it actually speeds it up a lot. It's actually very, very good. So I don't know. I don't think people are going to start doing this because it's like, why would you take a magic damage thing and buy a Shard when you, like, want Satanic and, you know, it's bad with the Ags? I can totally see why it's probably, it might not be optimal, but I don't know. It's definitely good. Like, you put it on people like this. If this guy doesn't have a Glimmer, he's just cooked. Unfortunately. Okay, yeah, I mean, Glimmer counters it too, which sucks a bit. Okay, at this point of the game, it's kind of just important that I'm sticking around my team. I'm not getting picked off. Just kind of reading the map well. Don't want to take any stupid risks. Again, my Quap is dead. I have Aegis, so I kind of want to frontline, but whatever. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So we're going in. My train's probably not in the best position, but we're going to try to frontline, help him out by just soaking out the enemy. I don't want to panic BKB here. I have Aegis. Again, I could use BKB before the Aegis to hit, and I do that here, which I think was fine, right? I have a really nice go on the bear. I'm going to even save my Treant initially here. So I don't mind it. It lets me stick on top of the Mars. I think it was probably correct. Kind of just get rid of the bear, keep my team alive. It makes the Mars overcommit. And now he has to resummon the bear. But we're getting some really good damage. And the Rocket Barrage, so good in that situation. So good. We get a missile onto the Rubik. And it really does do a lot here, right? Okay. Heals it. All right. Whatever. We get a nice fight. Nice little team fight. And I think the big thing that I'm doing well in these fights is prioritizing this bear. Notice how I'm not chasing the enemy backline. I'm doing a very nice job of just staying with my team, making sure that I'm keeping them alive, protecting them. My positioning is really intended to protect my backline and punish the overextending enemy heroes, the Mars and the Lone Druid. I'm not just chasing around some ogre trying to catch him. I'm not going to kill him. It's not worth it, right? So very important in team fights, guys. 9 out of 10 times, unless you're some Storm Spirit or you're like a backline assassin carry like a Slark with a Shadow Blade or a Sven with a Blink, you know, even those heroes can be more about the backline. But the tower heroes like SFs and Linas and stuff, it's a lot more about staying in solid position and staying as a ball. And Gyro is definitely one of those heroes. So complete our Satanic. We're in a pretty good spot now. Game evens out. Feeling fine. Not great, but fine. As, you know, at this point, the map got a little weird. Our wave shove wasn't the best. As I put a missile on Rubik here, I wanted to kind of get gone on. I'm giga strong at this point with Satanic BKB, and a big fight's going to break out here. So we're going to clear up. My Kunkka goes in deep. I think a big issue of this game as well is that he didn't buy a Shard. I actually think it's really bad that he didn't. I think he should probably buy Shard Crimson. It's so good. I mean, it's a solid Crimson game against Lone Druid. Yes, he's mostly magical, but it's still fine. It's going to keep us up alive. I think the Shard on Kunkka is just too broken as a utility. Like, with utility items, it's way too good. And it would allow us to kind of really force these fights. You know, he could drag in the Rubik here and just kind of put them out of position. So that's one issue I had with his build, but whatever. So fight breaks out. We're doing a lot of damage to Mars here. I get Yules for some reason. Who knows why. Kind of following up the Boat Torn, but unfortunately we just didn't have a sentry. And again, I think the big thing is that I didn't realize initially that my train was getting gone on, but once I see that the bear is in the backline, I did want to kite out and help. That was my priority, and you'll see I'm even trying to do it here. Unfortunately, I'm just kind of getting kited, but I want to protect my backline. I'm not going to run forward, always going to keep good positioning, and just kind of play around my backline. So fight gets a little bit weird here. Actually, a lot of bit weird here. I click my Satanic on the bear to heal. Still a BKB, but I probably shouldn't have chased here. This is where things got weird, and I knew things were going to get weird, mainly due to the resources of my team. I have a no BKB, no mana Quap, no mana Treant. I actually was aware of the fact that we were kind of low on resources, so I wish I didn't chase forward here. I think nothing ends up happening. I like BKB to try to kill him off. Unfortunately, he didn't die, so it is what it is. But good call to back up here. Yes, I have Satanic, but with no BKB, there's a good chance I get chain stunned and don't get to use it at the right time. So for my next item, I'm picking up Pike. I was having a lot of issues. I have two options here in my eyes. I would say I either go S and Y to get slow resist and stats resist, which is super good, kind of similar to Pike, and it might be better. It's also better with Satanic. So either S and Y or Pike. I just need mobility. I'm getting kited a little bit too hard. You know, it's a problem with Gyro. The hero is very stationary. It's easy to cast spells on him. So I want one of the two items that stop that from happening. So Satanic just to live. It's also such a good dispel game. They have a Vessel, they have Root, they have Ignite as my team dies. So it's very important that my team, even though my team dies, and like, I felt a little bit awkward. I was like so strong, and I knew I'm probably stronger than the Lone Druid at this point, just because I fight his bear reasonably well. But it was hard to force a fight. They were like split pushing very well. They probably have better wave shove. As I get Yulesed up here, this was like some, I mean, I think they throw here. If I remember this correctly, is this where we get a good engagement? This one might have been pretty even, as I'm getting kited pretty hard. Again, maybe the SNY would have been better, because I'm just getting kind of stunned a lot, and I'm getting slowed and stuff like that. But we click a Satanic here. I think it was probably correct. I just had a lot of debuffs on me, and allowed me to kind of dispel them and get to the Lone Druid. I click a BKB here. This one might have been bad. I think this might have been a bit of a panic BKB. Maybe not panic. I think I just wanted to click the Lone Druid Bear more than anything. Probably didn't have to in hindsight. But Satanic was on cooldown. I don't know. The bear's in my face. I think it's okay. At this point, with no Satanic, no BKB, I have no interest in chasing. My Batrider's also dead. We use a lot of ultimates. I don't want to fight into a Lone Druid Bear without my items. So we back off. I think it's the right choice. My Quap overextends a little bit. Whatever. No biggie. We're just kind of back to farming. And it's important not to kind of snowball these bad deaths. It's very, very crucial if you want to be a top player to be looking at your in the mid to late game this all the time. I'm always just gauging, are we strong? Are we alive? Because you want to take coordinated fights in the late game. it doesn't have to be with 5 heroes. You're never going to be perfect in pubs. Oh, I grief so hard here. This was so cringe on me. We want to smoke and contest Roshan. I'm just like, I shouldn't be hitting those cards. It's so pointless. This fight was a little sad. I probably should have forced staffed my Bat Rider here. I kind of thought he would be fine because he was BKB'd, so I didn't do it, but then he got messed up. I should have clicked it here. I don't know. And then I accidentally clicked it on the bear. I choked so bad there. That was pretty bad. I just didn't think it would die. BKB just died. It was actually kind of insane. This fight gets a little bit awkward now. We just kind of lose our mid. I have decent positioning, but they sort of have vision. My Kunkka with the shard, again, broken ass shard. Gets a really nice tidal wave, which lets us kill off the Mars in a very convenient fashion. Unfortunately, my Quap's going to die to the Lone Druid. He got a really good angle, but I will admit, again, something I think support players do wrong. Like, I think they should just have Ghost Scepters. Like, I'm pretty sure my Quap, I mean, the Yules is super reasonable. I can totally get it. Maybe he feels like the Lone Druid Bear is not a threat, but I don't know. Like, maybe he just feels like he's dying to tick damage. I can kind of get the Yules. It's a super good Yules game. Super good Yules game. So I get it. I don't know. Just watching him die like this was kind of sad. Perhaps it's just an outplay from the Lone Druid. He got a really good angle. And we did get put in a pretty awkward position here. I think I ended up going down, so the game got a little weird. Right, my Bat Rider kind of died in a bad spot. My Quap died from full. Otherwise, I think that fight would have been fine if she didn't kind of explode in that way, because she had everything, and she is really strong. Vessel, Ags, ult, you know, this guy does so much. It's a support Quap, but he does a lot, like a lot. Nothing crazy, but whatever. We're going to shake it off. Game gets a little weird now. Enemy team Giga throws. Shout out the enemy team for, like, diving our base for no reason. Thank you for the throw. This, like, super saved the game. Respawn, clear the wave. At this point, I wanted to progress waves as far as I can without taking too much risk. Roche happened to be still up. Like, that was insane. They dove our base, died, and didn't Roche. Like, what a throw. Game, we probably would have lost if they took Roche. I mean, or at least it would have been close. I don't want to say we would have lost. It's not like Lone Druid Aegis is, like, the best thing of the game. We can't even, like, kill him, honestly. We're not going to probably burst him. But pretty bad from them. So, I get an Aegis, and at this point, I had to make a weird decision. With no boots, I am so kiteable. And honestly, it feels really problematic. Also, probably in hindsight, I do wish I bought the SNY. I don't know. I think with how these fights are playing out, it seems like it would have made more sense. But whatever. Maybe I'm just playing them a bit off. But I bought Aghanim's Blessing and Blink. I just feel like with Aegis, I had to have a big timer to take a nice fight here. And I really need this Blink Dagger. With no boots, I'm not going to be able to hit someone. And also, I've had this situation come up multiple times where this Mars Arena is causing me problems. Right? Where I don't want to BKB to try to hit. And so with Blink Dagger, I can kind of deal with this arena a lot better. As unfortunately, we try to kill off the bear. It's taking some of our buildings. We're pressuring our base. Unfortunately, couldn't get it. At this point, the map was weird. It's really important, even though I have Aegis, I don't make some throw play, right? I'm not going to, like, invade the enemy side of the map. It just doesn't make sense, right? It just doesn't make sense. As their Lone Druid keeps split pushing. It's just so annoying. It's Ag, so he doesn't have to be close to it. It's so annoying. But I want to make sure I'm making a good play. Game is hard. This Lone Druid's being really difficult, right? By pushing in waves without his hero. It's very hard to deal with. You can see that, you know, the bear's bottom now. We see it on a watcher. He's just giving us a lot of issues with our base. But I think it's important that I don't panic and I don't make some stupid play because I'm, like, nervous, you know? I think it's more important in the late game to just make sure a good fight happens. And look, we find a nice jump on Ogre. It's a solid target. Again, kind of probably wish I had SNY here. These stuns would have been way shorter. And maybe I would have killed him, as I actually didn't kill him here, and I got shackled, so, yeah. Maybe the SNY would have been huge, because I don't want to, like, pike towards him. So I get put in a bit of a weird spot, get feared away now as well, but again, I don't really want to just, like, casually BKB to hit, as I drop a cooldown, and I think this is key. Again, protecting my backline, going on this bear. And if it was some carry hero, I would do the same thing. If it was, you know, any carry hero trying to kill my backline, I would be going on them and trying to protect. 9 times out of 10, as a hero like Gyro. Because you're probably not going to assassinate the backline. As we go on the bear again, I think we kill it here. This was nice. I thought he only had 2 bears, but he had a refresher. He's actually so farmed. I mean, I'm farmed too, but he's actually so farmed. We killed the bear. I thought there was no bear at this point because we killed 2 back to back. As the Mars makes some big overextension, this is huge. We get his BKB very casually. But yeah, again, that big fight, I'm not just... Notice how I'm not hitting random tier 2s. I'm not like, guys, I have Aegis. I need to push. Guys, I have Aegis. Go siege high ground. Hell no! We're gonna lose racks to the Lone Druid. I'm gonna get speared into their tier 4s. I'm gonna get lifted by Rubik. Not a shot I'm sieging when our waves are bad. No chance. And you know how many carry players would have ruined this game by just being like, guys, I have Aegis. I have Aegis. We need to push. You're just gonna lose. Straight up. You're just gonna lose. you're just going to lose. You're going to ruin the game. Your team's going to get picked off trying to connect to you. Your supports are going to get jumped because they probably have to show because you're hitting a tower. Like, it's going to be so bad. Instead, we play the game slow. I'm just pushing waves, being calm, patient, and looking for a good team fight. As we find another nice angle. Super well done by my Kunkka here that dragged back into the torrent. That was juicy. Juicy. We get onto the high ground now. And look, we found a good fight. My team was able to stop the lone Druid Bear from split pushing here. We find a pick off on the Mars. We kill another nice tidal wave again. Why he should have bought it earlier. It's so broken. It's one of the best shards in the game. No joke. It got nerfed a billion times, and yet it's still just any repositioning is just broken in Dota. Especially for 1400 gold. Like, what in the world? But yeah, we're going high ground here. We're forcing the issue. The lone Druid actually bought out the refresher, so he had no buyback. I didn't exactly know that, but like, I think he didn't even have... Oh, he super has bears. What am I saying? But we wanted to force the issue, especially with Bat Rider. This Arsonist makes him like insta-kill buildings with the shard, which he had. So like, we insta-kill... What are these items? Where is his Hurricane Pike? Swift Blink before Hurricane Pike and another item? Whatever. We're going high ground. We get speared. Just have to not panic again. They don't really have damage without Lone Druid, really. They have basically 0 damage. Your heroes kind of, like, Mars falls off hard. I did have to BKB Satanic here. I was getting a little bit low, and honestly, I probably choked here. I think realistically, I wasn't going to get bursted. I probably should have just chilled. Again, probably should have S and Y. I don't know. This Pike just, like... The attack range is really nice, though, I will admit. And it does come into play very frequently, like, even for just hitting with Satanic. Probably shouldn't have panicked here. Probably should just, like, start hitting the throne. I don't need to BKB. I'm not going to get bursted. It's not like the Lone Druid has a blink on his bear or something like that that I need to be afraid of. And I decided to make the very... Okay. 9 out of 10 times I'm not piking forward. The only reason I'm piking forward here is because my Satanic is ending and I messed up. I never want to pike forward. Piking forward is terrible. It puts you out of position. It generally won't finish a kill. It's just bad. Like 9 out of 10 times. And now I get speared into the throne. I get wind sharded into it. Pretty unlucky. Now I'm like, oh god, I'm throwing. No. No. Oh, my Bat Rider ended the game. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Just kind of a clean game for like my standards and my carry. Bad death here and there, you know. The bottom play, the mid, getting jump mid was probably very bad. But in general, clean team fighting. I would say the big thing was just not getting picked off, not forcing bad pushes. And that's a big thing. People will watch 15k MMR gameplay and they're like, I have no clue why you're 15k. I don't get it. You're not clicking buttons that much better than me. Even though maybe I am. But the big thing is what you can't really see. It's the general decision making. I'm protecting my backline. I'm not getting Aegis and running down a lane when our waves are bad and we're down a racks. I'm not forcing bad moves. If my team is making a bad move, sure, I'd be there. But like, especially when you gain rank and gain rank and gain rank, you don't want to, especially as the carry, the onus is on you. Your team will probably follow you. So if it's not time to go and you go, you're ruining the game hard. The carry has a lot of, a lot going for it. To be fair, anyone can bait his team into a bad fight. It can be any role, but especially carry with Aegis. You can giga ruin the game. I'm not saying don't push. You just need to make sure the conditions are right. Can the enemy poke you easily? Are you playing a hero that actually wants to siege at that point in the game? Are your waves good? Are you going to get split pushed because you go high ground? You know, there's a lot of factors you need to think about. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm literally burning to death. I had to turn off my AC so it wouldn't make noise into the mic while I made this video. I am literally melting. I'm on the 4th floor of an apartment. It's like 90 degrees in here, which you guys don't even understand because you're not from America. I'm sorry, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, before you tune out, subscribe to the gameleap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.